Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. My name is Vaiyasaki Dasa. Srila Prabhupada played the harmonium on so many tapes. We've heard the beautiful bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and many of us have probably wanted to play the harmonium the way Srila Prabhupada did. And Srila Prabhupada also wanted us to learn to play the harmonium properly in an authorized way. By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, I was able to perform a little service in Mayapur Dham. While there, I traveled through many villages in Bangladesh and in Bengal. And there I was able to learn something about the Vedic style of playing harmonium. So I've been asked to give a series of lessons about what I've learned. Hopefully by the end of this series, you also will be able to play authentic Hare Krishna melodies and bhajans of the acharyas in the same way that Srila Prabhupada did. So first, let's get to the basics. In every system of music, we find there are 12 notes. And in the Vedic system, it's categorized as follows. 7 notes are called Shuddha, which means that they are pure notes. They never change. 4 notes are called Komal, and 1 note is called Tibra. The Komal and the Tibra notes, they are changing, as I will explain just now. The 7 Shuddha notes are as follows. Sa, Re, Ga, Then we have the 4 Komal notes. Komal notes are designated by the line underneath the notation. So for example, Komal Re is played like this. Re becomes Komal Re. Ga becomes Komal Ga. Dha becomes Komal Dha. Ni becomes Komal Ni. So all the Komal notes are 1 step down. The Tibra Ma is played this way. Ma becomes Tibra Ma. And that takes care of all of the 12 notes in the octave, and every octave is the same, has the same notes, whether higher or lower, so that takes care of every note you ever want to know. Now there's 3 octaves that we want to deal with on the harmonium. There's the lower octave called Udara, the middle octave called Mudara, and the high octave called Tara. And the notation is as follows. For all of the notes in the lower octave, we designate that by putting a dot below each note. The Mudara or middle octave, they have no dot, and for the Tara or high octaves, we put a dot above. Here on the harmonium you can see the 3 different octaves. This is the lower octave, the Udara octave, and then this section here is the middle octave, the Mudar octave, and then the top notes are the Tara octave, the high notes. The next thing we're going to do is play through the notes on the harmonium. Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Dha, Ni, Sa. You can notice that this high Sa from the Tara octave has a dot upon it. So all notes higher than that will also have dots on them. Proper fingering is very important if we want to learn the harmonium correctly. Here we have a chart showing which finger should be played with which note. First finger goes on the Sa. Second finger on the Re. Thumb on the Ga. Then the first on the Ma. Second finger on the Pa. Third finger on Ta. Thumb on Ni. And then again on the Tara Sa, the high note Sa, again the first finger. So we'll play that together. Sa, first finger on the Sa, second finger on the Re, thumb on the Ga, first finger on Ma, second finger on the pa, third finger on the da, thumb on the knee, and on the high sa, first finger. So now we're going to do a little practice. The Vedic system of practice is very nice because we learn to sing and play the harmonium simultaneously. So we'll sing these notes and also play them. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. When we're singing up this scale, this is called in Sanskrit arohi, singing up. And singing down the scale is called avarohan. Next, we're going to do our first exercise so that we will get practice playing the harmonium and singing the notes together. In the beginning, we'll sing sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. But eventually, we'll be singing Hare Krishna, like that. So this is how the exercise goes. We sing the arohi and the avarohan, one after the other. In the beginning, 4 beats per note, then 2 beats per note, then 1 beat per note, then 1/2 of a beat per note, finally 1/4 of a beat per note. And I'll demonstrate how this is done. First we'll do it 4 beats to the note. Sa, and now 2 beats to the note. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. And now 1 beat per note. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa, ni, dha, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Next, we'll do 1/2 a beat per note, which means 2 notes per beat. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. And finally, 1/4 beat per note, or 4 notes to the beat. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. And then back to 4 beats per note again. And you perform this over and over again, and one will learn not only the fingering, and not only will one become very familiar with playing the harmonium, but simultaneously you'll develop a very nice singing voice. A good exercise is to play the scale right across the whole keyboard, from the lower octave to the middle, right to the very top, like this. And gradually you'll be able to do it quickly, like this. Now we're going to take the same scale that we've just practiced and we're going to put the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to it, as follows. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this lesson we've already learned a little bit about the harmonium, the Vedic system of notation, how to finger the notes and to chant them up the scale and down the scale, and also we've learned to utilize that to practice a very simple Hare Krishna melody. Now in the forthcoming lessons we're going to expand upon all this and get deeper into the science of chanting and playing the harmonium according to the Vedic system. Jai, Gaur Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is lesson number 2. And we're going to introduce 2 new concepts. Tal, which is rhythm, and alankar, which means ornament or embellishment. Rhythm is very important because we have to learn to play in time so that we can play with other instruments. And also the alankar is very important because through the alankars we learn how to make the music very musical. All of the melodies that we know are made up of the alankars, so when we learn the alankars it'll be very, very easy to pick up any melody at will. So the first alankar we will learn is as follows. I have here in groups of 3, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. This is the arohi going up, and I will play this for you now so you can hear what it sounds like. First I'll do it very slowly. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. And then going down, the avarahan is like this. Sa ni da pa da pa ma ga re sa. Eventually we want to be able to do this more smoothly and quickly, so it sounds like this. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So this is the first alankar that we're learning, so we should practice this together now. If you have your harmonium, try and get it out and we'll do it together. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa. Sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Don't forget that it's very important to remember the fingering, that the right fingers go on the right notes, and also to sing out very nicely. Sing these notes out with full breath and with full vim, vigor, and vitality, because the idea is that by doing this, you'll be able to improve your singing voice. This is the theory behind it. We're learning not only how to play the harmonium, but also how to sing. So if you practice this particular alankar over and over again, your fingers will become very, very accustomed to playing on the harmonium, and automatically they will go to the right notes. Now we can utilize what we've learned in this alankar by playing a very simple Krishna, Hare Krishna melody that was Srila Prabhupada's favorite. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now, if you watch very closely, you'll see how my fingers are playing this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the important thing is practice. Just as in every other phase of devotional service, one must practice and do it nicely so that one becomes expert. Similarly, we should, when we have some time, we should go over these alankars regularly so that we become very familiar with them. So the end result will be that we'll be able to play the harmonium very nicely, and guests who come to the temple will be very much attracted by the singing and chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hari-o. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Hari-o. This is lesson number 3. Today, we'll go deeper into the concept of alankars, and we'll learn 2 other alankars. Here I've written them down on the card. These are a grouping of 4. And of course you'll remember this sa, re, ga, ma. I've dropped the vowel sound on each one just for a simplification. We'll practice this again and again to become proficient in the use of fingering and singing on the harmonium. But of course it's important to remember that what we want to learn is to play the harmonium and to chant Hare Krishna, and that this is just the foundation for doing that, not that we want to become expert in chanting sargam. So I'll demonstrate how this alankar is played. Sa re ga ma re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ma pa da ni pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma da pa ma ga re sa. Now this will require a little bit of practice, because although it may sound easy, it is not very easy as it sounds. So it will require a little bit of practice to get it smoothly and to get the voice and the sargams together. So try and remember that one, write it down so that you can practice it nicely, going up the arohi and coming down again the avarohan. So I'll sing this again now, and you'll look on the card to see how this is done. Sa re ga ma re ga ma pa ga ma pa da ma pa da ni pa dha ni sa sa ni da pa ni da pa ma da pa ma ga pa ma ga re sa. So that was the alankar with 4 notes to a grouping. So you practice that and try and get the rhythm nicely, 4 notes per group. And also now in this lesson I will show you another alankar where we have 5 notes per group, as is written on this card. 5 notes per grouping. Sa re ga ma pa, re ga ma pa da, ga ma pa da ni, ma pa da ni sa. This is the arohi going up. And also, coming down, the avarohan is the same. So we'll run that over together now. Sa re ga ma pa, re ga ma pa da, ga ma pa da ni, ma pa da ni sa, ni da pa ma, ni da pa ma ga, da pa ma ga re, pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa, re ga ma pa da, ga ma pa da ni, ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma, ni da pa ma ga, da pa ma ga re, pa ma ga re sa. When one becomes proficient at this, it will sound more rhythmic like this. Sa re ga ma pa, re ga ma pa da, ga ma pa da ni, ma pa da ni sa, sa ni da pa ma, ni da pa ma ga, da pa ma ga re, pa ma ga re sa. So we can now chant a new Hare Krishna melody which will incorporate everything that we've learned up to this time. Starting with the high sa, tara sa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So in this lesson, we've learned a little bit about the different tals. We've learned how to do the alankars with 4 notes per grouping and how to do with 5 per grouping. So the idea is that we want to get the fingers more accustomed to playing the notes in various groups, in various arrangements, and also to get a nice rhythm, a smooth rhythm going through it all the while. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Hari Hari Bol. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. This is lesson number 4. Today we're going to introduce a new concept, the concept of raga. Of course, you might be knowing that ragas are the integral part of Indian music. or Vedic music. And I'll explain today what the raga is. Here we have some ragas listed. The first raga, number 1, Bilabal. This is the equivalent to the major scale in Western music, and that's the raga that we've been doing all our alankars with in the previous 3 lessons. So we have the notes sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, the pure or shuddha notes. So going up, the arohi, and coming down, avarohan, they comprise the raga known as Bilabal. Bilabal raga. But today we're going to introduce another raga, Khamaj, which is different, quite different. Let me show you the difference. We hear, going up, we have the same as the Bilabal rag. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. But coming down, we have a different situation. The ni changes to a komal ni. So going down, the avarohan is sa, komal ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. So that means that every time we're going up, we're using an avarohi scale, we hit the shuddha ni. And every time we come down, we have to play the komal ni. And that sounds like this. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Did you notice the difference in the sound of the ni? If you didn't, I'll play it again. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Now I'll play a Hare Krishna melody using this Khamaj rag. This rag is called Khamaj, if you want to write it in your notebook. And it goes like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare So this raga has a slightly different mood because of the kamali coming down gives it a different mood. So now what we would like to do is we would like to practice the alankars that we learned previously in the other lessons. We want to practice them now within the Khamaj rag rather than the Bilabal rag. So for example, we had the alankar of triplets. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So I hope that you know that quite well now if you've practiced. So that particular alankar which we just did in the Bilabal rag, now we will do the same thing again in the Khamaj rag and you'll be able to hear the difference. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. So here on this card we see the notation for the alankar that we just did in the Khamaj rag. You remember this alankar of triplets, except on the Avarahan, going down, we have komal ni in these two places, which gives a whole different mood to this alankar. That's due to the raga, the Khamaj raga. So I'll play that again so you can become familiar with it. So what I would like you to do now is to practice the other alankars that you learned in previous weeks in this new raga of Khamaj rag. If you didn't jot them down in your notebook previously, I suggest that you rewind the tape to that lesson and then get them down so that you can make the proper correction of the komal ni so that you can play the alankars in the new raga. So now I'll show you the Hare Krishna melody in the Raga Khamaj. As we did it earlier, we'll practice that same one again. So if you've been following the lessons and practicing a little bit, you should be able to pick up that raga simply by hearing, because all the alankars are there and everything is there that you have already learned, and it should be a very simple matter to learn the raga. If you find that you have difficulty learning this Hare Krishna melody, then it probably is due to the fact that you haven't practiced enough, and you should go back and learn these alankars more fully. Because the end result, when you know your alankars, is that you can simply hear a melody once or twice, and you can capture it and play it on the harmonium. So I hope you got the benefit of this lesson, and that you understood it all right, and you'll give it some time to practice. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna. This is lesson number 5. Today we're going to get into a few more alankars. These may be a bit more difficult than before, but if you've been practicing, you should have no difficulty learning these. You can see this alankar, sa, ga, re, ma, ga, pa, ma, da, pa, ni, da, sa, the arohi, and coming down, the reverse. So I'll play that now, and you can hear what that sounds like. I'll do it slowly at first, and then a little bit quicker. Sa, ga, re, ma, ga, pa, ma, da, pa, ni, da, sa, sa, da, So this alankar is used very, very frequently in harmonium playing. It's a very, very important alankar, and it should be practiced quite regularly. This particular alankar is very useful to use over all 3 octaves of the harmonium, which I'll show you right now. Now we want to repeat that alankar, and we want you to watch very closely at the fingering so you get an idea how the fingers are placed. If you've been having some difficulty with the fingering up to now, then it might be wise to go back to the earlier lessons and practice that so that you get it smoothly. Otherwise, if you've been having no difficulty, means that you're making nice progress, and that's very pleasing. So have a look at the fingering, then we'll do it real slowly to see how we can do this. The philosophy of fingering runs something like this, that in the beginning, the student is always requested to place a certain finger on a certain note. And by doing this, after a short period of time, he gradually becomes proficient, and his fingers become very accustomed to playing the different notes. And therefore, it's very simple for his fingers to then play any note whatsoever. Sometimes we find that in the various alankars, it's almost impossible to have the right finger on the right note according to the earlier lessons. It's here that we have to make some adjustment. And when one becomes proficient, it's very easy for him to make that adjustment. The fingers become very relaxed and very limber on the keyboard, and so there's no difficulty. If there is some difficulty, then perhaps the fingers are not limber enough, and we would recommend that you play these alankars more often. However, generally, we would find that the fingers are able to adapt without too much difficulty. So as far as this last alankar is concerned, and what we can do now is we can play this alankar all throughout the whole keyboard of the harmonium as follows. So that can also be practiced. Now, another nice practice to do throughout the whole keyboard is just playing the rag bilabo continuously up and then continuously down. Sounds like this. So with a little bit of practice, you should very easily be able to accomplish these exercises. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Haribol. This is lesson number 6, and today we'll be looking at a new raga. This raga is called in Hindi Yaman and in Bengali Iman. I'm giving both names so that if one comes across either a Bengali or a Hindi gentleman, that you'll be able to correctly pronounce the raga and he won't be confused. So over here on the card we can see number 3, Rag Iman or Yaman. And here we can understand the difference between this rag and the other rags. This is the tibra ma that we discussed earlier. Sa, re, ga, tibra ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. All the other notes are shuddha and tibra ma. Going up and coming down, this raga is the same. And it would sound something like this. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. Did you notice any difference in the sound of this raga? I'll play you the Bilabal raga, and then I'll play you Iman raga immediately afterwards so you can hear the difference. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. And now Iman rag. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. The difference, of course, is in the ma. Sa re ga ma instead of sa re ga ma, which is what we're accustomed to hearing. So now what we would like to do is to review the alankars from the second lesson and the third lesson, and to play those alankars in the Iman rag. On this card we have the alankar which we're already familiar with, except for this case of Iman rag we see the tibra ma inserted. So I will play this alankar now with the tibra ma, which gives the melodic quality of the Iman rag. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. If you listen closely, you could hear the difference between this rendering of the alankar in the Iman rag and previous renderings. In this Iman rag, Prabhupada's famous melody of Hare Krishna can also be played. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare If you were listening carefully, you will have noticed the different quality of this melody in the Iman raga. By singing it in this raga, we get a distinctive Eastern or Oriental flavor, whereas the same melody sung in the Bilabal raga, which we did earlier, gives a Western flavor. In order to fully appreciate this raga, now you should go back and learn all the alankars that we've previously played, but play them with the tibra ma, so you become very familiar with the Iman raga, with the sound of the Iman raga. Next, I want to introduce a very, very popular Iman melody in Bengal. You might have heard this one previously, and I'll sing it now, and you should be able to pick it up quite easily. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So here in this raga, we can hear the distinctive quality that the tibra ma is giving. So this is the Iman Raga, and it's very distinctive. Each and every raga has its own specific quality. And when we become familiar with them, we're able to recognize that raga. And every raga has many, many different melodies. There are almost unlimited melodies for each raga. And each raga also has a particular mood of its own. So all the melodies in that raga have a particular mood. So this Iman Raga is an evening raga and can be played around the time of sunset. So simply this system of raga, which comes from the Vedas, is very scientific, and it's broken down for every hour of the day. Different moods are there. Jai, glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. Are you ready for lesson number 7? Today we're going to really get into the nectar. We're going to introduce Raga Kafi. This is a raga that most of our acharyas wrote their songs. So I'll just give you the raga and then we'll get into some of those songs. So we have this raga, we have komal ga and komal ni. Going up and going down, it's the same. So it sounds like this. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So I'll play that again. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. So one of the most popular melodies, one of the songs that has made Bhakti Vinod very famous is Jai Radha-Madhava. So we can do that song in this raga. If you just follow along with us, it goes like this. Jaya Radha-Madhava, Jaya Kunjabihari, Jaya Radha-Madhava, Jaya Kunjabihari, Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jashodanandana, Jaya Brajajana Ranjana, Jaya Brajajana Ranjana, Chari Jaya Kunjabihari, Jaya Jamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Kunjabihari, Jaya Radha-Madhava, Jaya Kunjabihari, Jaya Radha-Madhava, Jaya Kunjabihari. And we can use that same melody to chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna So also with this raga, as with the others, you can practice the alankars that we did earlier. And you merely substitute the komal ga and the komal ni in the proper place. And then we'll get the mood of the Raga Kafi. Another beautiful song written by Narottam Das Thakur in the Kafi Rag is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu. And we start it like this. Sri Krishna Chaitanya We can also use this melody for chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, So this is the Kafi Rag. So if you practice the alankars, and if you could follow the fingering there that we just showed you, then you'll be able to play these melodies quite easily and very sweetly. Jai, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and his transcendental ISKCON. Haribol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Haribol. This is lesson number 8, and today we're going to introduce a new alankar. This one's a little bit more difficult than the ones we've done before, but if you've been practicing, you should be up to it. Here over the card we can see how it goes. Sa, ni, sa, re, ga. Re, sa, re, ga, ma. So here we're going down and then up. So if you watch my fingers, I'll do it slowly and you can see how it's done. Sa, ni, sa, re, sa, re, ga, ma, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, pa, da, ni, pa, ni, sa. That's the arohi going up. The avarohan going down is a little bit different. It goes like this. Sa, re, sa, ni, da, pa, da, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. So, did you follow that? If not, I'll do it again. Sa, ni, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, pa, ni, sa. Sa, re, sa, ni, da, pa, dha, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, ma, pa, ga, re, sa. Sa, ni, sa, re, ga, ma, ga, re, ga, ma. So if you practice that for a little while, you should be able to master it. And then when you have mastered it in the Bilabal Raga, which we just played, then you can try it in the other ragas that we've learned. You can try it in Khamaj, you can try it in Iman, and you can try it in Kafi also. So now we'll go through that same alankar, but in the Raga Kafi, and you'll hear how it sounds, and you watch my fingers, you get an idea how it works. Sa ni sa re ga re sa re ga ma ga ma pa dha ni da ni sa re sa ni da pa dha ni da pa ma ga re sa. Then I'll also play this alankar in the Iman Rag, so you can see how that's different. Okay? Fa ni sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa re sa ni da pa dha ni da pa ma ga re sa. So also I'd like to introduce in this lesson a new raga, and that's Raga Asavari, down here, Asavari, and I'll show you the notation on this card here. Going up, we have an interesting thing. There's no ga in the going up. Sa, re, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. So there's only 6 notes going up and 7 notes going down. The full notes are going down. Sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa. So we have 3 notes that are komal, ni, da, and ga. But in going up, we always omit the ga, and in coming down, we usually play it. We always play it coming down. So I'd like to chant a very famous melody in Bengal, the Asavari Rag melody that's most popular. It goes like this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So if you notice, the ga is omitted going up. Sa, re, ma, pa. Sa, re, ma, pa. Hare Krishna. This is very distinctive in the Asavari Rag. Hare Krishna. So now I'll do the second part of this melody, so you can learn it if you just watch my fingers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare So this raga is a very sweet raga, and it's a morning melody. It's usually played between 10 o'clock and noon, and is very, very popular in Bengal. But of course, the main purpose of this is not to teach you to become an expert musician, but simply to be the backup for our chanting of Hare Krishna, because the most important thing is the bhakti, the devotion coming through the chanting, and this playing of harmonium is simply the backup, simply the boat to carry the beautiful Mahamantra Jai, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and to all the Vartmanacharyas. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is the final lesson in the Harmonium series. And today we'll be focusing on different melodies that devotees have been requesting that they would like to learn. The camera will be over my shoulder, so you'll be able to see the keyboard and my fingers very clearly. In this way, you should have no difficulty in picking up these melodies, and you can rewind the tape as often as need be until you learn them. Here we go. Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada very much desired that his disciples become expert in everything. So in learning to play the harmonium and presenting the Hare Krishna mantra very nicely, we will be pleasing Srila Prabhupada and will attract the fallen conditioned souls to come and hear and learn about the Juga Dharma and Krishna consciousness. All glories to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, my name is Sunanda Das, and I learned the art of harmonium playing over the period of 1974-75 up till the present. In the earlier years of my training, I learned from watching and listening to Vishnu Jan Swami, who was at the time our most wonderful harmonium player of the Hare Krishna movement. So many of the melodies which I use were taken from him directly or adapted from some of his melodies. And they're standard prayers from the Vaishnava Acharyas, and also standard melodies which any devotee can learn and utilize for festivals, for playing bhajans or kirtans in temples, or in any place, time, situation, or circumstance to help glorify the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The first song, or songs, is actually a medley combining the pranam prayers to one's spiritual master, to Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the Hare Krishna mantra. This is E flat, key of E flat. Namo next prayer is the Samsara Davanali Daloka prayers to the spiritual master, done in a 4/4 timing in A flat, using the lever and the harmonium to create a drone. And the particular melody can be used in several famous Vaishnava songs, such as Samsara Dava, Udila Varuna, and Vibhabari Shesha, as well as others. One may choose different varieties of volume and intensity, which are represented by these 4 levers on the bottom of the harmonium. Using an E flat as a drone, you can hear the difference in sound by pulling out each lever. The last is usually a tremolo. two levers on top are also drone notes that can be used without having to take the wire placement cord in the back of the harmonium on top of the keys. Just by pulling this out, one will have E flat, or the other will have A flat. Next song is Udilo Arana, which is played the same melody as Samsara Dava Nalita Haloka. However, it's played in a 3/4 timing, which is a little more complicated to play, but if one practices, you can master it very easily. Using the same melody as previously shown for Samsara Dava Nalita Haloka. The next song is a standard Jai Radha-Madhava melody which can be sung before class or any time. And although it is standard, perhaps many devotees have not heard the melody. Vishnu Jan Maharaj style, played in E flat.